The Last Gaze into the Abyss. Part 1. The shadow that eats the sky. It began as a speck. At first, no one noticed. A pinprick of darkness among the endless glow of the cosmos. As insignificant as a dead pixel on an infinite screen. The world turned as it always had. People went to work. Fell in love. Fought wars. Built empires. And lost themselves in distractions. The sky remained a vast, unchanging expanse, oblivious to those who gazed up at it with wonder or indifference. Until the stars started to vanish. It wasn't an explosion, nor a storm, nor any celestial phenomenon known to science. They simply blinked out, one by one, like candles snuffed by an unseen hand. Astronomers raised the alarm, their calculations revealing something impossible. A black hole had formed just beyond the visible edges of the Milky Way. And it was growing. It was growing fast. The news spread in whispers at first. An academic curiosity shared in dimly lit observatories and secret government meetings. Then came the press releases. The panic. The desperate attempts to explain. To reassure. To deny the undeniable. But the truth was cruelly simple. It was coming for us. Part 2. Watching the world unravel. Lillian had always been afraid of the dark. As a child, she had woken screaming from dreams where the night had teeth. Where the shadows pulled beneath her bed, reaching with fingers too long and thin. She grew up, as all children do, and told herself that there was nothing to fear in the blackness beyond her window. But now, the darkness was real. She sat on her apartment's rooftop, wrapped in a tattered blanket, watching the sky unravel. The black hole had grown monstrous, a gaping wound in the fabric of reality itself. It dominated the heavens, a sphere of absolute emptiness where even light could not escape. The surrounding stars trembled on the event horizon, stretched into ribbons before winking into oblivion. The city below still clung to routine. Traffic hummed. Neon signs flickered. Lovers whispered in alleyways, but the facade was cracking. Grocery stores stood half-looted. Streets reeked of gasoline and sweat. More and more buildings remained dark, their occupants having fled to nowhere in particular. Lillian wasn't afraid anymore. She had long since crossed the threshold where fear gave way to acceptance. 3 weeks after the government admitted defeat, the sky split apart. The black hole's gravitational pull had begun warping the planet itself. The tides surged in unnatural ways, as if the ocean were trying to escape. Earthquakes rattled the continents like the death spasms of a wounded animal. The moon, once our silent guardian, had begun to disintegrate, its fragments drawn toward the ever-hungry void. People reacted in different ways. Some rioted, tearing through cities in desperate rage. Others sought solace in gods who no longer answered. A few simply sat in silence, watching the end unfold. Lillian wandered the ruins of her neighborhood, a quiet smile on her lips. She had seen what lay beyond the stars now. She had heard something whispering from the abyss, not with words, but with a promise. Come closer. And she had listened. Lillian stood at the edge of a collapsed bridge, her arms outstretched. The city behind her was a carcass, gutted and empty, swallowed by shadow. The sky was almost entirely black now. Only a handful of stars still clung to the void, their light fragile. Desperate, she took a deep breath. She stepped forward, and the world fell away. There was no pain, no fear, no gravity to hold her down. She was falling and rising all at once, her body unraveling into strands of golden memory. She saw herself as a child, trembling beneath her blankets. She saw her mother, her father, long gone. She saw the faces of everyone who had ever lived, stretched across infinity like reflections in shattered glass. And at the center of it all, the abyss stared back. Lillian smiled. Then she was gone. The last star flickered, and the universe went silent.